Right now at 10 o'clock, a live look at the Hilton Hotel in New York City, where Governor Mike Pence will make his first joint appearance with Donald Trump in 1 hour.
And we have live team coverage as we kick off our special coverage of this historic day.
Yes, thanks for joining us and staying with us. I'm Drew Blair.
And I'm Bennett Haberly with the Republican ticket now officially set. Let the campaigning begin. We are joined this morning by our political reporter, Jim Shella. And Jim, we've been talking about this story all week. The nation's attention has basically turned to Indiana and Mike Pence.
Yeah, I saw a blog post yesterday that said Indiana rates an 8.9 on the political Richter scale. It's been an amazing week. It's been an amazing week, and it continues to be amazing. And this is going to be, I think, a very interesting announcement this morning, because we don't know what the chemistry is between Donald Trump and Mike Pence. When they were on stage together in Westfield the other night, it was very briefly.
Right.
We anticipate that they will spend more time together this morning, and yet there's already a rally scheduled for Zionsville tonight, and Donald Trump's not coming back with Mike Pence. It's a welcome home Mike Pence rally. A lot of things to try to interpret here. On the podium there in the Midtown Hilton, you see that it says Trump. It does not say Trump Pence, and we all saw the logo that came out yesterday.
Yes.
that's been criticized. So, is this going to be a smooth rollout? It's a big question.
Okay.
Yeah, and of course, there are all those questions about how do these two candidates get into lockstep. We've already seen that. We saw an interview with Mike Pence last night on Fox News in which he sort of had previously criticized Trump's call to ban Muslims from terrorist countries, and now he called it unconstitutional. And now last night he's come back more to Trump's idea of saying we should ban terrorists, but not people from Muslim countries.
Well, I think you're going to find that Mike Pence will be a loyal team member.
We know that Donald Trump had initially said that he was going to postpone yesterday's announcement on Twitter. Apparently, he's still active on Twitter.
Yeah.
And Jim, you got something else.
New tweet from Donald Trump. He says, "Look forward to introducing Mike Pence, who has done a spectacular job in the great state of Indiana. My first choice from the start."
Very interesting comment, because we've heard from CNN has reported, New York Times this morning has reported that there was some gray area there, that Trump had maybe gone back and forth and asked senior officials,
going up to the last
minute. Could I back away from this?
Can I get out of this?
And you go back to Tuesday night in Westfield, where he said he might be vice president, he might be governor. Who the hell knows? The message now is first choice from the start.
Lieutenant Governor Eric Holcomb was asked when we were in that scrum inside the Secretary of State's office whether or not, when did he in fact learn that Governor Mike Pence was going to be Trump's pick, and he said, I learned when he tweeted it out. Now, if he's to be believed, I'm sure he saw television before that. So,
but nobody knew for sure.
Exactly, and that's my point.
I mean, it wasn't real until it came out of Donald Trump's mouth or his smartphone. Yeah, you had to get it from Donald Trump in order to have something you could bank on. And you're going to see just how much of an attack dog he's expected to be going forward. But first, we'll probably hear a longer speech from Mike Pence than what he gave as an introduction in Westfield the other night, but I would expect it would have many of the same elements. There were really three takes. He did a sales pitch on what he's done as governor of Indiana. He professed his loyalty to Donald Trump, where he compared him to Ronald Reagan, and then he went on the attack. So I would expect something very similar, because that was for an Indiana audience. Now he's playing to quite a different audience.
It's a national, international audience. Is that a hard sell for Donald Trump to make? Because we have all these signs. The Trump sign in the Midtown Hilton, it says Trump, doesn't say Trump Pence. There are those reports about how he wavered in the waning hours leading up to this. So, I mean, is that a tough sell to make?
Well, we can overinterpret some of that stuff sometimes, too. I will point out, when John Gregg named Christina Hale as his running mate in the governor's race here in Indiana earlier this year, all of the signs said Gregg at that unveiling. They now have signs that say Gregg Hale. Sometimes there are details that need to be dealt with other than signage.
Well, we also saw an indication previewing what you already mentioned, that Trump will spend time saying he was my guy from the beginning. He already tweeted this morning something similar.
Right.
Yeah. My guy from the start. It's going to be a different message than the one from Westfield the other night when he said, will he be vice president or will he be governor? Who the hell knows? I promise you that.
Yeah, so a much different message now, just in 4 or 5 days.
Right.
And Mike Pence, Donald Trump will be seeking to define their ticket. Hillary Clinton is not holding back, seeking to define them already. Shortly after the announcement was made by Donald Trump, she released this ad.
Cities and states are joining businesses this morning in boycotting Indiana over its controversial religious freedom law. Protesters say it allows businesses to discriminate against gay people. The Indianapolis Star newspaper urges Governor Mike Pence to fix this now. At least 9 top Indiana business executives have criticized the legislation.
Are you willing to hold up this entire budget?
And that video was released
over
exactly
defunding
15
Planned
minutes
Parenthood?
after Trump sent out yesterday morning's tweet confirming that Pence would be his running mate. And again, that was 15 minutes exactly. And it really focuses on Pence's political history here in Indiana, specifically the Freedom of Restoration Act,
Which caused such a huge controversy last summer. To think where we were last July compared to where we are this July. If you were a betting man, Jim, would you have made this bet?
Well, no, and that's really what for some people, including me, makes this pick baffling on some level. I mean, I wasn't surprised based on the build-up to it, but the fact that Mike Pence, if you think about it, became governor in a Republican state following Mitch Daniels, who was hugely successful, and he's had one problem after the other, and gotten to a point where I'm told there's an internal Democratic poll that shows that his approval rating as governor right now is 34%.